Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Lubbock Sports Medicine. What a great team of doctors. Joe probably has some experience, whether he got hurt or he's had players hurt. And Lubbock Sports Medicine takes care of Texas Tech. And they take care of our area high school, middle school athletes, but they take care of everybody. Most people I know are just old.
You might not have ever done anything athletic in your life.
Yeah.
You're still welcome at Lubbock Sports Med.
Yeah, you just
because the
fall
older you
over.
get, the more you're going to need to wander in over at Lubbock Sports Med.
And you're going to love this team of doctors that they have there, and just how they help you and talk to you and listen. Here's the key word: they listen to you, and you'll love working with them. Go to LubbockSportsMed.com, and if you're looking for a car wash, and who isn't? They're around town, and there's several Mighty Washes, and that's the one you ought to be going to. They will take tremendous care of you. This is the Texas Tech car wash. This is the one the coaches go to, is Mighty Wash.
That's exactly right.
Joe, you want to say something?
He looks a little different.
He didn't have a cap
changed
on
in the last couple of days.
Well, how so?
Well, you look a little older.
I don't feel older, but yeah.
How old are you?
Turned 40 yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday,
Well, that's
too.
40
big
years
one.
old. It is a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it is.
All right, mentally, how did you take turning 40? No problem?
I think I'm just denying it right now.
Yeah.
But it's enjoying it, honestly.
True story, my mother, and this is the truth. My mother was 39 for like 3 or 4 years. I remember that vividly.
It goes
she
backwards.
just wouldn't go to 40.
You usually go backwards, right?
Yeah,
You start
she did
counting
not
down.
go to 40. So anyway,
Well, it's, and I can't remember being 40 hardly, but I think I was at one point.
you were.
And then, but it didn't affect me that much. 50 was a little different, but when you get to 60 and
Keep
70
going, Dave.
and 70,
Keep going, Dave.
when I got to 70, that's, you really have a hard
There's
time.
no way around the fact when you turn 70, you're in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. And
There's no way around that.
Your parents are gone.
Just do the math.
Yeah, my dad died when he was 70. My granddad when he was 70.
My dad was
71.
73.
And you're just like, we're there.
Yeah.
All that means is it's just good experience.
Yeah, that's
You've
great.
lived a good
We're
life.
so
A lot of good
smart now,
experience.
aren't we?
Would you do anything special on your birthday?
Got together with some friends last night. Just enjoyed some dinner and mainly spent the time with the family.
Now, I think of friends. When I think of you guys, I think of y'all like Gardner and Goot and all that bunch. I think that's y'all's friends. Do y'all have friends outside that baseball circle?
We've got a few friends
Okay.
outside of the baseball
All right.
circle, but
Well, I
you're
just
right.
think y'all are all
We are.
sort of-
We're still tightly
Sort
connected.
of like a big wad of friends.
I know they
right
go
there,
everywhere
right there.
together. Y'all go to
Absolutely.
church? You got church friends?
I do. Actually, your son. I go to church with your son.
Oh, you go
yeah.
out to Redeemer.
Redeemer, yes,
Well,
sir.
good.
So, yeah, know
That's
him
a
well.
great church.
It is.
Tanner loves
It
it.
is. It's great.
Loves it.
Yeah.
And you get some good, and there are a lot of people y'all's age out there.
There is good community, good friend group, and just it's great for us and the family.
See, he just turned 40.
Yes.
Which Rachel just turned 40, and my daughter.
Okay.
And I'm just like, oh, God.
And my kids aren't quite there.
But,
Yeah,
Tanner's like 37 or I can't.
No,
He's
he's
not
older
far
now.
behind me.
He is?
38.
He was born in 87, so, yeah. He's older than that, 38.
See, he's much older than that.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's good, Joe. I'm glad y'all are doing that.
Yes, sir.
Well, here's a quote. Joe has played a critical role in the success of our program here at Texas Tech and will be greatly missed, Tim Tadlock.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a pretty nice quote from a guy that's really successful.
Well, it is, and we go way back. I actually played for him in junior college and my time at University of Oklahoma, and he's a big reason why I'm super thankful for everything he's done and continue to, we've got a great relationship and lean on him and, just like I said, just very thankful for everything he's done for me.
What position did you play?
I was outfielder, played center field, and I also pitched, left-handed pitcher.
Oh, yeah.
Did a little bit of both in college. Actually, played against your.
You were left-handed. You sure you're left-handed?
Well, it depends on the day. Yeah, it's
Some days it didn't look like it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm right.
So you'd have been around 03.
So I graduated high school 03, junior college 04, 05, and then time at OU 06, 07.
Did you
All
like
right.
OU?
7, 8.
I did.
Do you still pull for them?
In the back of my mind, I want them to, but obviously it's it's funny how it's evolved with my time at Tech. It's it's
kind of learned to hate them.
yeah,
Now, if you'd have been
absolutely.
a UT grad, it would have been easier.
Yeah, it would have been a lot easier. You're right on that. Nothing about me likes orange, that's for sure.
I'm with you.
Well, how good were y'all at OU during that stretch?
We did. Let me think about this. We were about 3 innings away from going to Omaha my junior year, and then my senior year we were just okay. We underachieved a little bit.
Okay. All right.
That's what you're going for.
Yeah.
I think you must have played against my son because your senior year would have been his freshman year. So
Yeah.
You wouldn't have anything you'd remember, but y'all's paths have crossed.
It's crossed.
So,
yes.
Without a doubt.
Well, it's
So I've seen you play live in person.
It's been
made quite an impression on Gary.
Remember it like it's yesterday.
Yeah. All right. So you were a charter member of Tadlock's staff when he started. You started with him?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
I did. When he got the job, I basically called him, said, "Hey, I'm coming," and he said, "Well, hold on and let me see how it
get you a
fits."
job.
He said, "Let me see how it fits," and so it worked out, fortunately.
And what were you for most of those years? What was your title?
So I was director of baseball operations from summer of 2012 through, for 11 years.
All right. So that's scheduling. That's
Scheduling, budget, day-to-day, working with anybody and everybody that deals with the baseball program, internal and externally. It's working with players. It's just a little bit of everything. There's not just one thing that you can list because it's the list.
And you did that for how many years?
11 years.
Okay, you did that for 11 years and were really good at it. And then 1 year of assistant coaching and you're gone.
Yes, sir.
So did you enjoy the coaching or did you prefer the other?
I actually really enjoyed the coaching.
More so than
yes, sir. Yeah, so I think we're probably getting into this, but there's been several people around town and in the baseball world ask me like, "Hey, what the heck's going on?" And it's one of those things where you look up and I've got 3 daughters that are all under the age of 7, and I'm like, wait a minute, where's the time gone? And and you don't get that time back. So that's where I'm at with life, and it's been a blessing just to be present with the girls and be around the family, and so yeah, enjoying it. Absolutely.
Well, they're awfully young. Tell everybody what their names are.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are they into? What are they?
So we got my oldest is Harper, and she's full on into dance. She was telling me this morning she wants to play volleyball. My middle is Mackenzie. She's likes to dance. She's typical middle child. She keeps my hands full. And then my youngest, she's running the show. She's Whitley, and she's
Whitley. Good name.
So she just turned 3, and she's going on 18. It feels like it's fun times.
Well, your kids are Tanner's age kids pretty much. He's got 9, 8, and 5.
Yep.
And it's so fun.
It's too fun.
Everybody's dancing. What's the problem?
Exactly. Well, I want them to play sports, and my wife's a little bit more on the artsy side, and so I don't think they're. Hey, I might be a full-on dance dad. We'll see.
What's your wife's name?
Amy.
Yes,
sir.
And y'all met where?
We met actually in grad school at OU.
So she's
sat
a
next to
Sooner
her in
too.
class. She is. Don't hold it against us.
Well, no, we don't. You guys are Red Raiders now.
We are. We've been here long enough. Yeah.
Y'all been here more than you would OU.
You're right.
Exactly.
So she wasn't an athlete, but she's obviously fairly smart because not many unknowledgeable people go to grad school. What was she going
You're
to
right.
grad school to do?
She actually we were in athletic administration, so she worked in college athletics.
Well, there's only so many choices. I said ignorant, stupid, and none of those sounded right.
I know it. So unknowledgeable.
I made up my own word.
Unknowledgeable.
Hey, really knowledgeable people can make up their own words.
That's right.
So that's what I just.
So what does she do now? Just raise the kid? Is she raising, not just raising the kids?
Yeah, really.
She does some part-time stuff. She runs a social media for insurance company here in town. She has her own stitching company, and then she's full-time mom.
Yeah, full-time.
All right, I'm gonna show my ignorance again. Stitching.
Embroidery, stitching,
literally
making.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was some kind of term.
I probably don't know the right term for it either.
Well, no,
so
that's
I apologize.
good.
Sewing. Does she have one of those huge machines?
She's got what you need to get.
I need to get her in touch with my cousin-in-law, Donna Bradshaw. I went and looked. I'd never seen it before, and I thought, this looks like a huge organ or something that you play. It was fun. It was absolutely blew me away. Donna Bradshaw, they live out at Ropes, and she does it all the time.
Yeah, well,
making all kinds of stuff.
She does everything by hand. It's impressive. It really is.
Are we talking about dresses and shirts or what are we talking
sweaters, blankets?
We're talking about like pillows,
etc.
I don't know.
What all are we talking about here?
I don't
We're going to get
know.
her some business here.
Exactly.
Because people are looking for just what Amy does.
Typically sweaters, shirts, blankets, you name it. Anything you want to put something on, she typically does it.
So she can make it.
Eat at Joe's or whatever. She could do that on.
She can.
Okay.
That's crazy. How did she just liked it? She just fell into it, kind of?
She's just super talented when it comes to that. So I don't know how
just
it evolved,
a gift.
honestly. Yeah, it's something she saw and she enjoys doing, and it kind of,
Does she have a name of her, like Amy's Stitching?
What's 4 Stitches.
4?
Shoot.
Or 4, F-O-R?
Number 4.
4.
Like quarter 4.
Like quarter 4.
You guys are gonna get me in trouble here if I don't know the exact name.
Well, no, we're trying to get her lined up with some.
Yeah, she's gonna go. I can't believe you don't know more about
I
me.
can't handle all this business.
Absolutely.
Find it out. We're gonna give a number for 4 stitches.
4 stitches. That's probably not it at all, is it, Joe?
It's probably not.
I'm almost positive it's not.
All right. The
4 Stitches by Amy.
Is it
I
really?
wasn't far off.
You're
There you go.
lying.
There
I'm
you
right.
go. 4 stitches. Is she watching right now?
I bet she is.
All right. Well, Amy, we'll get you. Does she want business?
Of course she does.
She want
Yeah.
business?
I thought she just did it like a hobby.
Well, it's a little bit of both, but yeah. She's usually pretty full up, but it's.
So how do
she
they
does good.
find her? Do they go to
She's-
4stitchesbyamy.com?
Well, the world of Instagram and social media. That's the way of the world.
If we
now.
Google 4 Stitches by Amy,
Will something
come
show
up.
up?
It should be able to.
There you
y'all
go.
call Amy.
4 Stitches by Amy. All right. Y'all went to the College World Series 4 times while you were here.
We did. Yes,
What was
sir. 2014, 2016, 2018, 2019.
That's a pretty good run, isn't
It
it?
was fun. It's been some fun years for sure.
Yeah.
Good experience.
A really good experience.
Oh, that's phenomenal experience. And then to get to bring the type games we got to go see, the super regionals and the regionals and all that. That those were special times.
You brought those games to Lubbock.
And will be again.
Absolutely.
I'm assuming. Now, well, let's talk about the last couple of years. Haven't been what we became accustomed to. Does it have anything to do with NIL? What
Absolutely. So, I mean, you look back and a lot of people sit there and say, hey, you guys hadn't been very good lately. And you're sitting there thinking, well, let's stop.
Yeah.
So go back to COVID year. I think we probably had our best team that we've ever had, talent-wise. And, you're seeing some of that in the Major League Baseball now. Then 21, we're in a regional final. 22, we're in a regional final. Both years could have hosted. And then 23, same thing. And 24 last year, it just wasn't a great year.
It was
one of those years where.
Well, let me tell you what, you're going to have one of those years. When you have 10 really great years, there's going to be one of those years.
Yeah.
And even one of those years, I don't know what our record was, but even one of our years historically is a pretty darn good year.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just not comparatively
What you're used
speaking.
to, what you're expecting.
Yeah. And
Y'all got expectations way too high.
Well, you might
There was
be
your
right.
problem.
Sorry, backing up. One of those years was a super regional year. We hosted and we got beat pretty bad by Stanford. But so we're right there. It's one of those things where the ability, the talent's there, but baseball's such a hard sport to where people just don't understand. It's not just easy to roll in and just go to the World Series every year. I mean, I played on some pretty talented teams where you got to have a lot of luck go your way, and you got to stay healthy. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, got to have a lot of talent, which we've had, but then you got to have a lot of luck.
You're right.
Well, and that's where we want to be. Y'all have got it. This is where we want the expectations to be high.
Hey, as you should. Yes,
and they are at Texas Tech baseball.
Absolutely.
All right, but here's my tough question here.
Okay.
NIL. I look at the Southeast Conference, and I'm assuming their NIL money is 2 to 3 times what we're dealing with, although what we're dealing with is a pretty good number. Can you share that number, or would you rather not?
I don't want to speak for what they have, and just for the sake of the baseball program and the donors that
He's already
are
saying
providing.
they. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it's weird. It's been weird. Yeah. But it's a good number what Tech is doing, what people are stepping up to help with. But to your point, you're sitting there talking about the SEC, it's significantly more, and I've just experienced that from the coaching side, the recruiting side. But that doesn't mean it's you can't get the right player. Tech, when my time at Tech, we've always made it about, hey, we're not going to go chase the showcase pony, quote unquote. You want to get the right guy that's the ball player that's going to come out not scared to work and a good fit for the program.
When you go recruiting and talking about NIL, how much of the discussion now is about that versus what Tech has to offer and being a part of our program and our facilities and
history?
Yeah, the history of the program. It seems like everybody just wants to talk about money.
Unfortunately, it's turning to that, and the times have changed, and so agents are becoming a little bit more involved, or advisors, I should say. I don't want to get them in trouble with compliance, but so it's times are changing. It's becoming more and more part of the conversation. Unfortunately, but it's at the end of the day is if you're recruiting the right kid and they're coming for the right reasons, you're going to be successful.
Yeah. Well, and we have, and I heard we had one kid leave, went to Arkansas, and wanted to come back. Is that true? There's
been a few kids that have, especially this last summer, where they got in the portal and they realized, like, hey, it's this isn't what it's supposed to be. This
now, is Tim one of those TikTok the game's locked kind of guys?
yeah,
you go into the portal, you're gone. You went into the portal.
It's different times between the portal and NIL for sure.
Yeah. You can learn your lesson.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be leaving.
Well, then we talk about the SEC and money. I think our first baseman, who I personally am fine with him leaving, but I think when he went down to A&M, I think it was a money thing.
You're personally fine with that?
I'm personally fine with it.
Yeah, I'll leave that to your words, not mine. But yes, you're right. There's money is becoming a big reason, unfortunately, why kids are
without
leaving.
a doubt. So we'll be right back.
I don't know how they do it.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, Las Brisas Southwest Steakhouse, 114th in Topeka.
I was going there last night for dinner.
You were?
But we couldn't get reservations.
So packed.
We wanted to eat in the bar so we could watch TCU.
Yeah.
Wanted to watch Sonny because, and this is a true story, every time I bet on Sonny, he loses. So we're going to start betting against him.
He ought to send you money.
He really should.
Sonny should. Put you on payroll.
Well, I think he's gonna be another. So you had a bad day.
Yeah,
guys, here in a little while.
That's his heart.
Second time in 3 weeks he's been our. So you had a bad day, guy.
He got thrown out of the SMU game
and had to walk 50 yards that way, 50 yards. When I got thrown out, all I had to do was go into the go in the dugout and get out of sight
a little bit.
But he had to walk. Speaking of that,
and SMU, we were saying let's do Las Brisas.
I thought we did.
No,
it is a wonderful place.
You were going to go there but couldn't get in.
Yeah. Well, we could have got in the restaurant side, but we wanted TV.
You want to watch TV?
Yeah.
They have that area, that bar area. It's really nice. They got it's like a whole bunch of restaurants in one. They got the outside with the little ponds.
Oh, and this time of year, guys, that outside area is golden. So
go see them. You'll love it. 114th in Topeka, out in the falls, and it is absolutely phenomenal. One of the best places to eat in this part of the world. All right, now what were you going to say?
I completely forgot.
I know it. Well, you were talking about Sonny.
About how old Joe Hughes is?
Yeah, no, Joe Hughes. No, how you were talking about Sonny and had a bad day, and he gets beat by Houston, who hadn't scored in 2 games.
Right.
In 2 games, and that's our old quarterback down there. I looked at the box score. I don't think he got to play.
Well, yeah, he did at the end.
Oh, they put him in.
Well, they didn't. They had to put him in because the other quarterback got hurt.
Oh.
You talking about Houston?
Yes.
Okay. You talking about Donovan?
Donovan Smith.
Okay. When he came in, he did extremely well.
Good.
Yeah.
Did he get to play for a while?
Yeah, 4th quarter.
Good.
Yeah. So, anyway, we got a lot of quarterbacks around to keep up with. But,
I know it.
But he's apparently been beaten out. But when he got his chance, he
got
took
in there and
advantage
performed.
of it. Yeah. So he may get back in there.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Time will tell.
It's crazy. We got the Louisville quarterback, Shuck.
Yeah.
He's having a great year.
Oklahoma State
with Bowman.
Year 7. Yeah.
Yeah, his 7th year.
He may be jockeying for a year 8. Cause,
Yeah, well, he's probably stiff. He's getting so old now.
Yeah.
So don't bet on them. We've had some great quarterbacks come through here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, Baker Mayfield. How about Patrick Mahomes? He's doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing okay.
He's doing okay, isn't he? Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about baseball. Let's talk about Joe Hughes. And I've got this information.
Let's hear it.
And I had
what do they say he's going to do, and then we'll find out what he's actually going to do.
Hughes Baseball Consulting. If you've got a baseball that won't go over the plate, bring it to Joe. He'll talk to it.
All right.
And get it to go over the plate. But this is going to be fun. Educating prospective student athletes to simplify college baseball recruiting process.
Oh, that is golden. And that's sort of cutting edge. I'm sure they've had that for a few years now, but I don't know if they've had it in this area as somebody to help counsel people.
Well, they don't know what's the process. These parents, these dads, what do we do?
Exactly.
Now, do you actually help them put together a video to send out to different places?
No, so just the whole way this created and I started is when I stepped away from coaching, I sat there and I thought, in the last 12 years, the number one question parents and kids, like they just didn't know what to ask. They didn't know what to do, if they're doing the right things, how college baseball works, what's the next steps, whether it's before the recruiting process, whether it's during the recruiting process, or heck, even when they're committed and so on and so on. So there's people doing this similar thing, but they're promising, hey, we're going to get you placed in college. We're going to get you recruited. All I want to do is simplify their experience and help with their process and educate them. And it's kind of funny because I really just started as like a little thing on the side, and my phone's been blowing up quite a bit lately. So there's a demand there, and it's exciting to see how it takes off.
Let me tell you something. There are enough places nowadays. Back, and this is years ago when I was in high school, there were only a handful of places you could go play baseball.
Yeah.
Now, if you can walk, chew gum, and swing a bat, there may be a place for you.
Yeah,
in college baseball, because
some guys just want to keep playing.
You're exactly right.
They just want to keep playing, and you get better, and you end up at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
One day.
Well, and that's what I tell kids. I said, I tell them, I said, look, like if you truly love the game and you want to play baseball, there's a good chance you'll find a place that you can play. And there's an opportunity. It may not be the level or the school that you want to go to, quote unquote, or so to speak, but there we can help find an opportunity for you.
At Hughes Baseball Consulting, and this is good, Gary. At Hughes for us, at Hughes Baseball Consulting, no question is a dumb question. So we're glad you're here.
Thanks for the questions.
Yeah, because we have lots of dumb questions. But anyway, I just think it's so important, and these young kids, and Gary and I talk about this for years now. They're so involved in this playing baseball all year long. They're on all these teams.
All right.
They're traveling.
What do you think about that? Are the kids playing too much baseball, or not enough baseball, or just right?
So I think it's all
on the kid.
Yeah, it's all a personal decision. It all depends on the kid. There's a lot of kids out there that are doing it year round. I'm a big fan. I grew up of be an athlete, put the ball down, go play a different sport. It helps you. Pick a different ball up. Yeah, it helps you and it translates into the game of baseball. But again, personal preference, and times have changed. It's becoming such a there's such a high market demand for the game of baseball, and it's year round now. So it's personal preference, and it's a good question because it's one I've heard quite a bit before.
Is the next step in this thing where these summer programs will be able to pay kids to come play on their summer programs? Is that legal yet?
It happens where they scholarship kids. It does in certain programs, and that's usually not very often, but certain programs that have the money.
I think if you got programs that have money, they will start. Well, let's just say basketball.
Like Aaliyah Chavez.
That's what I was going to say.
I bet you.
Somebody might just pay her to come play on their summer program.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that nowadays it's probably legal. I mean, she has the right to.
Right.
Yeah. Supreme Court said she can.
Yeah.
So, and I bet they did pay her. I don't know that, so don't take that for gospel. But
sure
I would pay her to come play on my team.
Yeah, absolutely.
She changes it. I saw her this week, and it kind of really bothered me. I saw her in that Texas. She made her visit to Texas this week, and she had on the Longhorns basketball uniform, and she went to the football game, and she's sitting up there with they let her keep the jersey and wear it.
That's going to be the one place we may lose her to.
We can't lose her. We got it.
We can't lose her.
We can't lose her.
Well, if we lose her, it's just because she wants to go, because she's going to get.
Yeah. What she needs.
I've talked to the people that.
Me too. They're going to do whatever they got to do.
They're going to do what they can do to keep her, and if she doesn't want to stay here, that's it.
Would Tim Tadlock be for that? If you had the pitchers, what's the guy's name that's pitching for the Pirates now? Steen or Stein?
Paul Skeens.
Skeens. If he said, I'm thinking about coming to Tech,
but I need $1 million.
I need $1 million.
I would think if it's a guy like Paul Skeens, he'd have to consider it.
Yeah, I think so.
You got to ask the questions.
Come on, Coach Tadlock, let's go. This guy can win every game he pitches.
Well, that's what we did with the softball girl.
That's exactly what we did.
But softball's a little different than baseball, because a softball pitcher can change your program like that. Baseball pitcher can make a difference.
Yeah,
right.
But he only going to be out there once every 5 or 6 games. So
she can pitch every. Well, Skeens could pitch every game. Wouldn't that be?
Tell him to name his price then, if that's the case.
Yeah, he's good. All right, I brought up Major League Baseball. Who's your favorite? We're going to talk more about this later, but I know you pay attention.
Yeah, absolutely, I do. It's I got to pull for the Tigers because of Jace. Jace Young is connection there.
He seemed a little more piss and vinegar than his brother.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, not even close.
Josh was a little bit more business. Jace was a little bit more emotion. But both of them,
sort of an in-your-face guy.
Both of them, you'd take in a heartbeat, and just absolute great human beings from a great famy. And
we had the dad on the show one time, and he was
just
a good guy.
So talented,
and good family.
So
really
it's going to be fun watching both their futures.
Okay. When do they play again? Did they play last night?
Today. There's,
is he in the lineup?
I don't know
that. Still on the...
Yeah, he's on roster.
Okay.
I don't know that he'll be in the lineup though. It just depends. So he hadn't been.
There's a lot of Tigers fans now.
It's funny how that works, right?
Yeah, they kind of gotten behind the tie. They barely got in.
Yep.
Now they beat the Astros, and it's a lot of fun to watch it when it gets to this point of the year. But boy, we love the Youngs and what they've done. I'm telling you, amazing guys.
Talent,
Those are brand guys.
You're right.
They are Texas Tech brand guys, like Patrick and like our golfer Oberg.
Yep.
We got it going on here at Texas Tech. And how's the new facilities and everything?
Facilities there for baseball are it's state of the art. It's special. It was completed last year. So they've been in it for a year now, and it's basically another home. It's got everything you can think of as far as baseball-wise, as far as nutrition. Cages are phenomenal, so it's a great place for the guys to hang out.
That's like Gary had when he was playing there.
Absolutely.
Well, we shared the deal under the track stands with the track team. Shared the shower with the track team.
I was talking to Ron Richardson this week. He called me. Played basketball at Tech. He's from California. He's like the greatest ambassador for the Red Raiders in the history of Tech. It's unbelievable. But he was talking about. He goes, Dave, you remember we were over in the men's gym? We had a little caged-in area.
A little bit different times.
And
yes.
He goes, he hadn't even seen the new basketball Womble. It'll blow him away.
But I think he's like the rest of us. We're so happy to see it just get better and better. Our players have it as good as probably anybody, including the SEC. Fans, and I don't know if we're going to be able to have the money now that we're having to buy players to spend the money to make the stadium like the SEC. Because y'all have been over there and seen some and played in some of those. They've got better stadiums for the fans, but I don't know if they have anything better for their players.
I don't know. Do we have room to make it better, or do we need to take that street out?
I think there's a couple things that need to happen. I think the street needs to be moved, and I don't know if that's still in the works or not, but at one time it was, and there's plans. So hopefully, it's because
we need a ballpark, because we've got fans.
Well, and our ballpark
Right.
needs to stay there because
Yes.
that locker room we just built.
Oh, it's got to stay there.
It don't
You're right.
move.
Yes,
We're not going to be able to
absolutely.
move it, so we're not going to make the best of what we have.
Expand it, and it's limited on space around it now. But
It is, and there was some plans at one time, and hopefully that'll, evolve over time, and the players deserve it. It's especially the ones that have come through. They've put in some skins on the wall for it.
Yep.
So it's
now the Coliseum's gone.
just-
There's room.
You're right. Yes.
Now Gary likes that grass over there, but I'd rather have a bigger baseball
Well, I
field.
like for football the fact that they have parking and then they have a gathering area.
Right.
It's perfect for football.
It really is. Right.
But if it's more perfect for something else, then
Let's do it.
let's move on. But it doesn't need to be a dorm or something like that. It needs to be athletic.
or an education building.
No,
Come
no,
on now.
no education.
It's about
building.
sports.
School first,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Athletics, then school.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, here's what you offer. He's got classes and class names.
Oh,
Recruiting Education 101.
Now, is this for if I sign up for one of those classes? Is this for the parents or is this for the kids?
So this is for both. I encourage the families. As far as it's again personal preference. I've already done it with just parents. I've done it with just kids. I will prefer to do it with parents and kids because usually it's a family decision, and parents usually can ask questions that kids don't typically ask. And so it's from my experience and direct knowledge of what I've done. And before you go into those classes, it's just basically everything's catered towards the kid. So that's just a little bit general information as far as helping in any way that I can help them in their process.
Educate them.
Yes, sir.
Pre-recruitment, recruitment, post-recruitment. There's just a lot that goes into it. And really, they have no answers to any of those questions, really. They think they know some things, but here's a guy that's been through it all these years.
Lived it.
And the experience that you have is invaluable for these parents and these kids. And I hope a bunch of people will call you.
Absolutely. It's been good so far, and it's been coast to coast, so hopefully it just keeps growing.
Really?
And
Coast to
yeah,
coast?
we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Joe Hughes at Hughes Baseball Consulting at Gmail. Is that right? You got two ats in there.
Hughes Baseball Consulting at gmail.com.
Hughes Baseball Consulting at, okay. Oh, it says contact Joe Hughes. And then I put at.
That's okay.
I
Yeah.
thought, you can't have two ats. I don't know all the rules.
Well,
But,
you might be able to. I don't know.
yeah, Hughes Baseball Consulting at gmail.com.
All right, so you're saying people from other cities, other states can. So do you do that on the internet? Do you do that?
Yeah,
Skype,
usually-
or is there still a thing of Skype? What is it called?
Zoom or even Zoom or even or FaceTime.
be
Absolutely.
Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember back when?
I can't believe you pull that out. Skype.
Skype might still be a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, Skype's still a thing.
I bet it is.
Cutting edge people know Skype.
Yeah. So all around they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
This is one of those kinds of things, Joe, that could just snowball into something huge.
Well, and I think it's already trending that way. I'm hoping it is.
Is
And
it
I've
just
got
a you thing, or are you going to need to hire?
Well,
on some-
it's just me for now, and so we'll see where it goes. Actually, I've had several people in the baseball world reach out to me, like within the last couple of days, and just say, "Hey, if you ever need help, if I can help on your side, like let me know."
Yeah.
So it's good. That's good
Yeah.
feedback because there means there's something to it. So
Maybe your wife, Amy could help.
yeah, I need her to.
Quit
Yeah.
that 4-stitch.
No
All right.
kidding.
Real quickly, we only got 1 minute left. How do they get hold of you for this thing?
So gmail.com. So it's Hughes Baseball Consulting at gmail.com, or they can go on social media and send me a message as well.
Okay.
You can find
All right.
Joe Hughes. You
Now, how
maybe
about-
just go by Joe, not
Yes.
Joseph.
Yeah. Well, my wife and my mom call me Joseph, and mainly everybody else calls me Joe.
Mainly when I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
All right. And Amy's Four Stitching. Is that
Four
the name of
Stitches
it?
by Amy.
Four Stitches
I'm gonna
by
remember
Amy.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Four Stitches by Amy. Google that.
And you can get, she
Go-
can make you some stuff.
Yeah. We,
Joe, this was fun.
guarantee
Thank
her
you for
work.
coming
Well,
over
thank
here.
you guys for having me.
I hope
Always a
this
pleasure.
helps, and
Yeah, thank you.
we're
guys.
pulling for you. You're a
Hey,
good
you're
one.
welcome here anytime.
Well, I'm here in
We may have
Lubbock.
you during baseball.
I'm here in Lubbock.
and you
I'm
can,
happy,
you
yeah.
can critique how they're doing. All
I
right.
go to Ruidoso and you can
We'll be back.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
All right, HG Thrash Clothier Company, 2010 Broadway Avenue. That's the home office.
Yeah.
And that's where they all started. You know, Howard started all this, Howard Thrash, back in 1989. Can you believe that?
Wow.
And he's had the finest men's clothing store in this part of the world for that long. And it just keeps getting better, and really got a lot better when it moved out to Kingsgate. They've got a store there, y'all, and it will blow you away how great that store is. So stop in there and see. It's right there close. You can see it right there from 82nd Street. Easy to get to. Great parking. And you'll love the HG Thrash Clothier out in Kingsgate. Plus, the one downtown's always been great.
Beautiful stores. You go in there and you just look around. And you wouldn't think that clothing would be something to gaze upon. Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
And if you're a golfer, they have
like
the
a work of art in there.
Golf attire. I mean, the big names you're looking for, they have it. And they got some Texas Tech shirts, too. As well, that you can get there that you won't find other places.
Well, I think I told you this. When it was white out, Taylor was coming in town and he didn't have a white shirt. I went in there and within 2 or 3 minutes had the shirt out of there, and it's Texas Tech. So they got gorgeous Texas Tech stuff.
All right. That was fun having Joe Hughes. We appreciate him coming in. We really do. And now Gus is supposed to be Zooming. Is he Zoomed yet?
Yeah, he's right there staring at us.
Where?
Hello.
Oh, I see him behind
Right
me.
there.
He's behind me back here.
I'm sneaking around back there.
Yeah, I see you, Gus.
All right, let me put my headset on so we
Yeah, you can be able to hear him.
communicate with Gus here.
We had Joe Hughes on. Did you? This guy's. I think he's on to something here, Gus.
And I hate to lose him.
I do too.
Yeah, most importantly, I hate to lose him just on the day-to-day stuff, seeing him around and saying hi to him, although I shot him a birthday text the other day, and he's obviously alive and well and communicating. But I think the key thing now is keeping him here at home. But, he was always good. Jamie and I, when this news broke or a little bit before it got to the public, Jamie and I were like, man, he's taking care of us on the road forever.
Yeah.
Since Coach Stadlock got here, he'd be the one handing us a room key. He'd be the one texting us saying, "Hey, breakfast will be down there from 8 to 9:30."
I didn't ask him who's taking his place, Gus. Do you know?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I do not know.
You know what? I think you're the guy for the job.
Well,
is that a job you'd enjoy?
I could probably do it, but yeah, I don't. I don't want to act like I'm sure whoever does this is going to be paled in comparison to.
Are they talking? Are you talking to anybody about it, or
no? Do I need an agent?
Yeah,
that's how
you need to call Joe Hughes and tell him.
I know. I got a guy. Joe, I'm 57 years old. I have trouble going to my left. My arm's no good anymore.
Hey, do you think what he's doing now would have benefited you when you were in high school age, or?
You know, our stuff back then, you and me, it was so simple. You called me and invited me to the dining hall. I went up there and ate, signed, and we went inside. I mean, but yeah, I can imagine, because it's just what you said. And it wasn't a whole lot different from when you played to when I played, because there was the only junior college program out here was Howard County when I was going through it. And so you went to 3 places. I mean, if you didn't go off somewhere, you went to Howard, you went to LCU, you went to Tech.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, that was it into the later 80s and early 90s. And finally, the JUCO programs got going. And I guess Blinn, if you got down into the state, that's where Larry Horn and those guys went
Donnie
down there,
Moore.
of course. Yeah. Well, Donnie went to Ranger.
Ranger.
Yeah.
That's not that. He did pretty good at Ranger.
Yeah, you got to be pretty tough to go to Ranger and Cisco and all of. And I'll tell you real quickly, we talked about Donnie going to Ranger, and the reason Donnie went to Ranger, and it's probably in Coach Magel's book that Gus wrote.
It is. I think it is.
Is that he wanted to go somewhere where he didn't have to go to school.
Yeah, just play baseball.
And that was the place. And it worked out marvelously well.
Well, they said he worked on the highway crew. I mean, I don't think he went and sat around like he was on a road crew or something. That was my understanding. Is that right?
Anything but the books.
Well, yeah. Out there mowing the highways or something, and then pitched. And
the thing he did,
and the thing he did for you guys in '72, he did for Ranger in '73, because they got to Grand Junction. He had like 3 wins at the JUCO World Series, and they kept handing him the ball, and he kept winning.
I think they had 8 games to go through the whole process and win, and he won like 7 of them, something like that. Right. It was something phenomenal.
Same thing he did here. He just took it to the next level, and then he signed after that, and the rest was history. But what a guy. goodness.
Well,
we talk all day
doubt.
about him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and you probably remember. Do you remember Alfred White?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Alfred was a great member of the tech staff out there.
Yep.
And we got a text earlier from Scott down in Houston. And if I could find it, I would share it with you. He said, our friend Alfred White has been named to the Board of Trustees of the College Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
a big deal.
What's your title there now?
I am emeritus. Alfred joined the board with us. I mean, he is. I'm on the board. He's on the board. Now that I'm not an employee, I'm emeritus and board member.
Now, who else is board members that we'd know? Because I'm sure there's two or three more.
Sneed would be one. Yeah. And Chris and I are part of the original 5, and we just celebrated our 20th birthday. That all started in 2004. The very first Brooks Wallace Award, man. Yeah, kind of. The very first Brooks Wallace Award would be 20 years ago, coming up here in the next month or so, and that was when we were up in the Lubbock Club, and you and Taylor came.
Yeah, and Suzuki was our
Suzuki.
was our winner that year.
Yep, from Fullerton, and it was the first of many. Yeah. And now he's all played through the big leagues and retired.
Yeah.
It goes quick.
Yeah, watching grandkids of his own now. So.
Yeah, last summer our Hall of Fame class included Alex Gordon, and Alex won the second Brooks Wallace Award. And so we've gone through from a guy that's been a great college player and been recognized for it, really good big league career. He's a legend in Kansas City because they won a World Series. And then he retired, and now he's in the College Baseball Hall of Fame. So, yeah. But, yeah, well aware of Alfred being in there, Scott. Yeah, that was in fact, I voted for him. So how's that?
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
When was Alfred at Tech? When was his last year at Tech? That's a long time ago.
Been in the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
See, I stumped
I think he was gone
Yes.
by the time I got there, Coach Ash. So I would guess, if I was just guessing on a year, I'd guess 82 or 83.
Yeah, I'd say right in there.
Yeah.
So, and really, 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 really good guy. So,
Yes, sir.
and we've had him on the show a few times, and
Yep.
really enjoyed having him on. Hey, real quickly before we forget and get down to the end of this thing, we didn't even talk baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, Major League Baseball. And this is when a lot of people start watching Major League Baseball.
Right.
Most people don't watch the 162 game season or whatever, or a lot of it. A lot of people do now because of the Rangers and Josh, and now the Tigers and Jays. But sort of get us caught up on where we are on this thing. And, and who should we pull for? Who should we pull against?
The National League is very chalky. And here's what's cool. Here's the 4 teams that are playing in the National League. We'll start with them: Mets, Phillies, Dodgers, Padres. All right. And if we were bracketing it, we would go, hey, we want Mets versus Phillies. They're 100 miles apart from each other. And we want Dodgers versus Padres. And that's what we're getting. And that was just seeding and things just turning out right. And so you've got 2 division rivals, 2 nearby things. You used to hear Dickens and I joke about that on the show. We used to say that, like, suck it, Steve, your team is poor. You know, that's 2 guys sitting in 2 guys that show up at the office every day, and he's a Padres fan and he's a Dodgers fan, and they live right in that area. And, it's their friendly competition, and that's how rivalries are built. And lately the Padres and the Dodgers have gotten after it. All 4 of these teams, Mets, Phillies, Dodgers, Padres, all of them are big market. All of them are, I don't say big market, but they're all equipped to win now. They've all spent money on this team. The Mets are probably the Cinderella team if there's a Cinderella on the NL side. But the Padres, man, they're dangerous and really good. And the key and they lost a pitcher yesterday to Tommy John, a starting pitcher yesterday. Yeah, no doubt.
Bad timing.
Yeah, exactly. But there's still Darvish. There's still Dylan Cease. There's still guys you haven't heard of that just went 8 innings of 1-run baseball. And so you start to look at them and go, man, they got some magic. Dodgers won't be easy, but the Dodgers have some pitching problems.
All right, guys, I'm going to test your knowledge.
As well, too. Yeah.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
I know it's the weekend, but we're going to ask you to think here.
Crap.
Give me this week's power rankings in Major League Baseball.
Ooh. Am I guessing somebody else's? I mean, like somebody else?
Somebody. No, it said mine. I mean, this is.
Oh, okay.
This is somebody that supposedly knows what they're talking about.
I'd probably go. I would guess that the Dodgers are one.
Okay,
Maybe.
if they weren't one, who would be?
Yankees.
Okay, I go Yankees or
All right.
Phillies.
All right. Let's go with Phillies.
Phillies
Okay.
are good. They really are good.
And then let's go
Okay.
Dodgers. And then David threw out Yankees.
Yep.
Keep going.
All right, let's go.
Padres.
I want to squeak the Padres in there sooner than the other team that you've got there on your list that had a bye, which would be Cleveland.
All right. Padres is 4. There's somebody in between the Padres and Cleveland who you just mentioned that is not in the playoffs any longer.
Oh, they're not? They're still in their power rankings?
The Astros.
The Astros.
Y'all are still number 5. Hang in there.
And there's the biggest upset this week.
Yeah.
The Tigers. Hey, in late July, the Tigers sold. The Tigers traded their best pitcher to the Dodgers and got some prospects. This wasn't they weren't out of it like the Chicago White Sox, but they were out.
They're close.
They were thinking about 2025 and 2026. And they started heating up. The other thing that really happened, and this probably has nothing to do with Flaherty being traded away from the Tigers, but for whatever reason, a bunch of guys you never heard of in their bullpen started throwing really good.
All right.
Really good.
Did any of those players that they brought in sort of giving up on the year and looking forward to next year, did any of those players factor into this little run they had?
Man, I'd have to look. I think there is an infielder. I think they got a big league infielder out of it, but probably a couple of prospects that I don't know.
Okay, that literally are next year or the year after.
Yeah, I think they're probably guys that we're going to be talking about a year or two from now. But obviously, Jace is part of it. Hey, I heard this week when they were playing the Astros, the Tigers had 4 guys in their starting lineup, I guess for game 1, because it was a 2-game thing with the Astros, 4 guys that had been in AAA this year. Not because of a rehab thing or some deal, but had either started slow and got sent down or was coming up like Jace. And that's so the 4 guys I'm talking about, because Jace wasn't in the lineup, he didn't even count on that list. But there's a whole lot of young dudes in that situation looking around the room at each other going, hey, we were in Double A and Triple A together. And you know what that's like. But and then they get to the big leagues and then they get hot and they're riding that fun, confident wave, and who knows where this thing ends. Here's the other thing. You can't talk about the Tigers without talking about American League. He's going to win the Cy Young. Tarek Skubal. He's from Seattle, went to some little tiny college up there, drafted in the 9th round, and here he is now, one of the best pitchers in baseball. I think I heard this right. He's going to win the pitching triple crown, if you will. He most wins, most strikeouts, best ERA. And I think we had that in the AL and NL. The other one on the NL side is Chris Sale. Chris Sale and Alex Wimmers were the 2 best pitchers in college baseball there last year.
Oh.
How about that? Yeah.
All right, y'all, you guys did phenomenal. I'm giving y'all an A+, even though you didn't get Phillies as number 1.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I can't give you an A+.
No, you got to get number 1.
Oh, that's fine.
That's still an A- though. And then it goes Brewers 7th, Braves 8th, Orioles 9, Tigers 10, and Mets 11. So
and
there
Tigers,
you have it.
So my Tigers 10, Mets 11, and they're two in above
who you pulling
3 or 4
for,
that you
Gus?
just named. Yeah.
Who would you like to see win it? Win it all? The Royals?
If I could, maybe Royals or Detroit.
Yeah.
Hey, you talk about the Royals. That Mr. Witt, who you've had, you had Dad on a show a bunch. My goodness.
Not a bunch.
What a player he is.
Isn't it something else? He played at Colleyville Heritage.
Yes.
And
he played out here every summer. And
he did.
He'd come to the Lubbock and rap it.
He did.
I mean, my son Brooks, his brother-in-law, gave up one of those home runs to Witt that's still going and hit off the high. It gets another 10 feet longer every year. But it's over the sheep farm out at O'Banion and off they killed the guy mowing his yard. They would come out
for the First Bank Classic. It was so fun. Exactly. Rusty Greer and Bobby Sr. We had more fun. They were great guys.
The last of those guys, they had a good center fielder on that team, good college player, and he finished up I can't remember if it was this past spring or in 23. He finished up at Abilene Christian, and we played against him. And I'm like, I remember watching that dude, just be yet another weapon in that lineup.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. Yeah. Jimmy Webster still talks about playing against those guys because he was new there at Grapevine.
Yeah.
And he got that was his crosstown rival.
I know it.
Good luck with that. But obviously Jimmy turned the tide on him last year and went and won state. But yeah, it's Mr. Witt is some kind of fantastic. It sounds like he's a great kid. I mean, these guys are 23 years old and tearing it up.
Yeah.
The Padres center fielder is 20, Jackson Merrill. 20. That Jackson Churio, the kid that hit 2 home runs the other day for the Brewers, he'll turn 21 this coming March. And those guys are making it into the postseason.
I don't know what it is. I was watching the Alabama, and you've watched it too, I'm sure, Gus. That 17-year-old receiver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unbelievable how good he is. 17.
All right, Gus, trivia.
Yes, sir.
92 years ago this week.
Hang on, 92.
92 years ago this week.
32.
Game 3, 32 World Series. What happened?
I'll answer it. I'll answer it now. You don't say anything. Babe Ruth supposedly called a shot.
All right, photo of the week. There it is. Babe Ruth. And then I want when we come back, you can tell us if he actually did that or not.
92 years ago.
No, he did not.
No, he
We're
did
going to
not.
tell it now.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.